أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا. I've actually come out tonight or today to learn of the Shaykh who are present here today. My topic today, inshallah, because of the title, the whole of Shaykh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani, I would like to speak about the important matter, the matter between the Shaykh and the Murshid or the Murid. Today we live in a world of individualism, where everyone have their own ways, and it's all about self. It's all about the nafs. And how do we know this? Because it is proven today that the most photos taken by people today is photos of themselves, which are even given a name today called the selfie. And in Arabic, the word selfie means nafsi, myself. So this echoes where the human being has arrived in modern day and age. And the reason why the human being has arrived at this particular juncture where it's about the nafs, because we have abandoned one of the most important traditions of having a shaykh, and the relationship between the shaykh and the murid. And because of today's modern fight against tasawwuf, we find ourselves in the crisis in which we are today. I come from Cape Town, the city of the awliya, and I've seen the effects of what the shuyukh had on the murids, even if the murids were shipped 1,000 kilometers away. For example, in South Africa, in Cape Town particular, the area called Majma' al-Bahrain, the place where the two oceans meet, or Raqs al-Raza'i Salih, the furthest point in Africa. Cape Town hosts most of the awliya that one finds in the modern day. Every place where one turns in Cape Town, you'd find a wali buried there. And these people, they came in shackles, they came in chains by the Dutch who colonized Indonesia, Sumatra, and they tried to get rid of these men of Allah, the likes of Shaykh Yusuf al-Makassari, Shaykh Qadi Abdul Salam, Tuangguru. These are all people that were shipped from Indonesia to the furthest point in Africa, Cape Town, to break the da'wah and to break this call of the soul. And these people was enslaved in Cape Town, on Robben Island, on mountains, and they were in cells. But one of the most beautiful things about these karama, for example, Qadi Abdul Salam, about 4 centuries ago, 390 years ago, he arrived in shackles and wrote the entire Quran from cover to cover, which one can still find in the Awal Masjid of Cape Town. He gathered some of the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the awrad that they used to recite, because they were kept in the prison cells for 4 days straight, separated from each other, and they would recite these awrad, the Ratib al-Haddad, which is still being recited today in Cape Town, 4 centuries later. One of the most interesting things I saw of the effects of having the Shaykh and the karama of the men of Allah I visited the place in Caledon, in South Africa, in Cape Town. And I came upon a tomb, a karama, where the karama was sharing his tomb with the Masihiyah. So the karama was laying, and right to the karama there was the burial of a non-Muslim. And so I read the history of this karama. And this karama was owned by this particular doctor, or this particular influential person was the owner of a slave. And every single day when she walked past his maqam, or his place where he was resting, she would find a light illuminating from his place. And when he died, they buried him in his maqam, in his place. And she said, when I die, please bury me in the same place where he's buried. So this is an interesting tradition which I feel as a starting point we have to return to have a Shaykh. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the master who did not need any teacher, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he was in need of none but Allah. But even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, had the relationship between him and Jibreel alayhi salatu wassalam. And to a large extent, I honestly feel that the Ghar, or the cave in which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam received revelation, was merely but the Zawiyah of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A place where he spent and arrived, a place of ta'aleem. I want to look at Surah Al-Kahf and look at the importance of the Shaykh and the Murid. And what is the relationship between having the Shaykh and having the Murid? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran speaks about Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. And we know Musa alayhi salatu wasalam Shaykh was Al-Hidr. And the ulama have opinions whether Al-Hidr was a prophet of Allah or a messenger, but because of his functionality of the hidden being of Al-Hidr, he really had a moment of sainthood as well. And Al-Hidr, the reason why he's called Al-Hidr, the one who makes things green, because wherever Al-Hidr used to stand, the place around used to become green. And everything Al-Hidr came in contact with became alive. And so we know that when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, when he met Hidr with Yusha bin Nun or Joshua, we know that the fish, Musa and Joshua ate of the fish, and it was salted. But when the fish came in the contact with Al-Hidr, we know the fish took back the life and went back into the ocean. And so Musa said that is the place where Al-Hidr possibly should be. And so even Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had Sayyidina Al-Hidr. And we know that even amongst the Madahib Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah from the very start, Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah had a Shaykh. He used to say that if I didn't meet Imam al-Ja'far al-Sadiq, la halaka al-Nu'man, the Nu'man would have been destroyed because I needed my Shaykh. Imam al-Shafi'i, Imam al-Malik, Imam al-Shafi'i had his Shaykh, which was a Shaykha, Sayyidina Nafisa. It was his Shaykh. We know Imam Malik took the Shaykh of the father of Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal had a Shaykh. We even know the longest dynasty, Dawla Uthmaniyya, Muhammad al-Fatih also had a Shaykh. And so all the great men of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all of them had shuyukh, and even the shuyukh had shuyukh. And this echoes really the importance of returning to that tradition where we have a Shaykh and we are guided by our Shaykh in all aspects of our lives. Not only in matters which pertain to Zawiyah, or not only matters which pertain to the Masajid, but even matters pertaining to the Mu'amala, and even pertaining matters of current war affairs. Because we know the Dawla Uthmani Muhammad al-Fatih used to wait for his Shaykh to give him the instruction whether he should go for Constantinople or not. But there are three rules, and I could be wrong, and this is my my ijtihad on this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us in Surah Al-Kahf, which is a very beautiful surah to recite on a Friday. But not only to recite it, but to contemplate about this important surah, Surah Al-Kahf, which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever recite the first 10 ayat of it, he'll be protected from the grave and the fitna of Dajjal. But I also feel whoever recites the surah will be protected of the fitna of today's society. And so there is an important lesson which one can derive, and inshallah, I don't want to prolong this lecture because we have my Shaykh who we can learn from. But very interesting, when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam meets Al-Khidr, one of the very things that we as murids should take of our shuyukh is we need to develop that patience with our shaykhs. Because one of Khidr alayhi salatu wasalam's advice to Musa is, قَالَ إِنَّكَ لَن تَسْتَطِيعَ مَعِيَ صَبْرًا. Musa, when you wanted to undertake this journey with your shaykh, because Khidr was the teacher of Musa. And very interesting, when I was sitting with my shaykh, he had the opinion, he said, that wherever you find the Majma' al-Bahrain, the two oceans meet, you'll find the shuyukh in these areas. And he mentioned, he said, because Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, and all of us know, had the outward knowledge, he had the sharia. And Khidr alayhi salatu wasalam had the haqiqah. So he had the inward knowledge. And where the two oceans met, as where the inward met the outward. And the outward can't go on its own, nor can the inward go on its own. A person can't say, I'm basing my life only on the haqiqah. No, you need the sharia. And one can't go without the sharia without having the haqiqah. And so the two of the two goes hand in hand. And so one of the first lessons that Al-Khidr teaches Musa is, you won't have patience with me. قَالَ إِنَّكَ لَن تَسْتَطِيعَ مَعِيَ صَبْرًا. You want to undertake this path, Musa? This is a path that will rattle you, it will shake you up. It will drive you to a place where you don't understand it sometimes, when the shuyukh gives us instructions, and at that time we don't understand what is he doing. And so there's three dimensions which we can learn from, inshallah. The one being, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam and Al-Khidr, they undertake the journey, which is a very famous story, and they come upon the young man. And we all know Al-Khidr, he does what he does to this young boy. At that point, Musa doesn't understand an innocent life is taken. And this is one of the first dimensions of tasawwuf. It's when you hand over your nafs to Allah, and your nafs are no longer, where your entire being is in the hands of Allah, which you enter into the realm of fana, baqa, where you just illuminate and you go to this realm where it's all about Allah. And even your life and the life of your family and the life of everyone else becomes secondary, where it's all about Allah. And so one can really dwell into these dimensions, which unfortunately we cannot cover within 20 minutes. And the second part is with Al-Khidr alayhi salatu wasalam, when he comes to the ocean and he destroys the boats of these yatim. It's also offering of your wealth in this path, fi sabilillah, where you offer this to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the entire being, to your shaykh and to the tariqah, in the expansion of the turuq. And then thirdly, of course, we know that the young boy, where Musa alayhi salatu wasalam establishes this wall, of course moves onto a place where you become selfless, where it's all about serving humanity. And that is tasawwuf. Today, unfortunately, tasawwuf has taken a name without meaning. While in the time of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there was tasawwuf without a name. And until we return to the true tasawwuf and understanding the importance of having a shaykh, of having that alaqah between you and your shaykh, and upholding the awrad and following the instructions of the shaykh, it's virtually impossible for us to arrive at any place in this world. The shuyukh are the people who walk the path. They know the way to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we are by following their ways which they have trained already. Unfortunately, we do know with sectors coming up to get rid of this tradition has led people to the crisis in which we find today. And until we return back to having a Shaykh and understanding the importance of it and understanding the importance of following the tariqah, we will always remain in the situation and the crisis we find ourselves. We ask Allah to grant the shuyukh of the turuq, the barakat, the sakanat, and may Allah expand all the turuq, and may Allah grant us to follow our teachers, our shuyukh. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.